Hello! Today we are going to do yet another easy mail art tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to make an envelope that looks something like this. This is a design that I've done a number of times, and you can do it very black and white like this or with lots of colors. So there's lots of versatility, but it's very easy and it doesn't require any specialty tools. So as you can see in this example right here, I leave this area for the address, so that's what we're going to be doing today, but you can do the entire thing in the pattern and then put an address label over the top of it as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to use this kind of, natural paper bag colored envelope, and I'm going to do a nice contrasting brown on top of it, and that's really as simple as it is. And then the only other tool I need is a ruler, and the ruler is going to help you start off, but you don't need it for the entire project. You don't even need a ruler. You can just use a straight edge, the edge of a book, the edge of a pad of paper, anything you want to use. So and you can trace this in pencil first if you'd like, but you don't have to. You can just go for it. You really can't mess up, and even if you do mess up, that's totally okay, and you can fix it or leave it. The point of making these envelopes is that they look handmade, so if there's little accidents here and there, that's totally okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just draw a random line. If you're going to be using these Gelly Roll pens, it's nice to really kind of draw it slowly so that ink actually gets down nice and opaquely, but you don't have to. You can do it quick, whichever works for you. And then I just kind of like to go in alternating directions, lengthwise and then widthwise, and just choosing lines. And you want them to overlap so that you create these boxes that we fill in. But I like to start kind of with the bigger shapes and then do some smaller ones to make those smaller boxes. And always keeping in mind that somewhere generally in the center, I want to leave a nice big box so that I can write the address. And then it's nice to choose the vertexes as a place to, put another line through. It gives it that really clean look so that things aren't a little too crazy. But you don't have to match them all the time, but it is nice too. And then if you get kind of these big areas, that's what I'm going in right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to break them up a little bit, because I don't like them all too big. I like a variety of sizes, but if you like really big ones and really small ones, you can just go with that as well. And I think I'm just going to do maybe one more here. And that looks pretty good to me. I don't want to make too many. And this is looking pretty good. With this big space here in the middle, this is what I'm going to leave empty for the address. And everything else, I think I'm going to do one more here. And then I'm going to do another one. I lied. I'm not done. Here. All right, that looks good. So for the act of filling in all these lines, I don't bother to use a ruler. You can use one if it makes you more comfortable, but again, I like it to look handmade. I don't really care if they're not perfectly straight or they get a little wobbly. That's okay with me. So I just like to go in and do it. And so I'm just gonna start. You can start with whatever shape you want. I usually like to start in a corner and kind of, go around, but you don't have to. You can do whatever makes sense to you. And just choose a direction that you want to start adding your fill-in lines. And then the only thing I try to do is for boxes or shapes that are right next to each other, I don't want the fill-in lines to go the same direction. I want them to go in kind of opposite or alternating directions. So for example, this box right here, I'm not going to have them go this way. And the same with this triangle right here, I'm not going to have them go this way. And you'll see what I mean as you go along. But basically you just choose one of the straight edges to use as your guide, and that you're going to run every other line parallel to that line that you choose. You can also do it diagonally like this, which is what I think I'm going to do. No, I'm going to do it this way. And you can see with this box, like, is it perfectly spaced? No. Are some of them wobbly? Yes. That's okay. I don't mind it. So I'm just gonna keep going around and doing that with all of the shapes I've created, except for the center one that I'm gonna keep blank for the address. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm turning the envelope, my piece of paper, in the direction that makes it easier for me to write or draw. And you can do that, especially because I don't like, running my hand across possibly wet ink. So I try to make sure that my, wet stuff is over here, and that as I move left to right, that I'm dragging my hand not across wet ink. And if you wanted to, as I'm doing this, it kind of happens naturally because, like I said, I'm not making them evenly spaced on purpose, but you could add even more variety by doing some of the lines, much wider apart, some of them much closer together, and it adds even more, visual dimension. And you can see, like I said, it kind of happens naturally as I go through this, but you could be even more deliberate with it if you liked that look. And there you have it. It's all done. So I'm going to put the address right there, and I never mind covering up my design with stamps, so the stamps will go up here. But if you like to not cover your design with stamps, you are more than welcome to put the stamps on first and then draw all the shapes around the stamps and then go from there. So I hope you like that. If you decide to make an envelope like this, make sure to tag me in it. I'd love to see your efforts. And if there's anything that you'd like to see me do a tutorial of, please let me know. I always need ideas. So hope you enjoy, and talk to you guys later.